it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So we are here today for day number 11 of DEPHEMEREMBER, hand or machine sewing, making a postcard. So I'm excited about this one. This is DEPHEMEREMBER, which is a December daily prompt challenge hosted by 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel. I've linked their channels below. So my thought process on this is that I want to create something that has like an interesting texture, a bit of textileness to it. You know, one of those things that's a little tactile inside a journal. So what I want to do is use up this piece. I have this, I've been cutting up this old quilt for quite some time, and I'm using these two pieces of paper as my base for the size that I want to have my postcard. So I'm going to just lay those out here and grab my scissors. Okay, so the objective really here is we just want to cut out something ever so slightly, I guess, yeah, a little bit larger than the postcard maybe. Or actually, maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah. Let's just see where we go with this. I think I want it to be ever so slightly smaller. Maybe kind of exact if possible. That would be even better. Okay. Just come back over here and trim this a little bit more. Right, so there's one, and that will just lay there. Move that out of the way for a minute, and we'll do the second one real quick here. Just take this big piece off. There we go. Okay. So my concept is basically I want to sandwich these together inside a lovely piece of fabric. I have a couple here that I've used already for some other ephemera within this series, because I'm thinking all of this ephemera is going to come together for a future journal. So these will be the background fabrics, and then I will create a focal point. Now what I'm thinking about is how I want to use these postcards, if they're going to be glued down as pockets, or if they would be something that I'd like to be able to remove and have like more of a journal card aspect to them. And I'm thinking journal card with like a nice tactile kind of feel. So what that means is that I need to completely sort of sandwich these inside some fabric, and then back them with some writing space on the paper side. So this and this. So first I want to put this down because I want it to have a nice, you know, firm backing. Actually, I'll give it a little more space. Yeah, stitching around this, leave a little bit of space all the way around. So then we want to fold it over here. So again, leave about like an inch of space above. Okay, so leave about an inch of space there. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one is my eco-printed fabric. I just want to see what side I like best. That side for sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that I have these fabrics ready is stitch around all four corners, all around this edge, basically just trapping this inside of the fabric. Okay, so I just need to, yeah, okay. All right, I'll be right back when I'm finished stitching. Okay, so I have created these stitched bundles. The postcard and the mini quilt are trapped inside here. So now I just need to do some trimming around. So I'm just going to trim ever so slightly toward the edge here of my stitches. This one went a little wild, so I'm going to just clean it up a little. There we go. Stitches off here. Okay, so then just make sure that everything is still sealed, nothing came open, no problems. Nope. Okay, so there's one puffy packet. And you could also do these if you didn't want like the thickness. You could do them just with paper inside, just with a postcard shaped paper. That would be totally acceptable as well. But I just want something with a little bit of a different tactile feel, like a little mini quilt postcard. Okay. All right. So this feels nice and soft, and then if you want to, you can go back and you can trim out this little piece of quilt inside, but I don't want to. I'm happy with it as is. I like that, actually. Okay, so now we have two backgrounds, and we just have to decide how we want to use them. So you'll feel clearly you've got the paper on one side, and I would recommend that being the side that is your writing side for your postcard. So let's work on embellishing the front, and then we'll do the back first here. Make sure that I'm on camera. So I chose a couple of books for this. This one is The Cuckoo's Haiku and Other Birding Poems. So this has really beautiful birds inside of it. As you can tell, I have torn a lot of pages already out of this book. It has really beautiful painted illustrations, and I've chosen this page for today, The Northern Mockingbird. As well as, this is like a children's, I think, like forest kind of book. It has a lot of different animals and birds and things like that in it, so it's good for this. And I've chosen Moose. Okay, so I was thinking the moose would go on the more natural background and the bird on the busy leafy background. So essentially I'm thinking about how a postcard is, you know, kind of like a little snippet into a moment in life, and because we're keeping this a little bit like wintry and naturey themed, this I think is going to be perfect. I'm just going to tear out my bird here. And I'm going to be careful to just keep this Northern Mockingbird text because it's amazing text, and I may want to use it here. Okay, so now we just have to check kind of the sizing. I like that. So what I'm going to do is just glue stick this on. I'm going to stitch around this too. So the very last thing you do will be the back, because you're going to see some more stitches going through this. Another way you can flatten out this fabric, if it's too thick for you, is to just crazy stitch all around it. The more stitching that you do on here on a machine, the more it's going to sort of pounce down the fabric. So don't be afraid to flatten it out if it's too much for you. So there's our bird. And then just grab the name of the bird, because I think that, you know, this little bit of information is good, because that's typical to a postcard. If it's about a place, there's usually, you know, a description of the place, and if it has an animal on it, usually the animal is described. So I'm thinking this would go maybe here. Now the other element that I wanted to bring into this is a postage stamp, and I have all of these postage stamps that are like on like the paper they were posted from, so like they're already kind of ready to go. And I like this one. It's Francis of Assisi, and it's a US postage stamp, but it's like he's sort of, you know, there's birds on it, so I'm thinking I would like to put it on here as well. But I'm just going to have to tear down the green a little bit. Oops. There we go. So I'm thinking that that's kind of the general idea that I want. Just grab my glue book here and we'll do some more gluing. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's the front layout that I'm going for with that one. Now let's move on to this one. These are so cute. Moose are such incredible creatures. I once took a really nice road trip. Excuse me, I'm still a little gravelly from this cold, but the cold is gone. It's just the beautiful voice I have left. But anyways, moose are beautiful and gigantic animals. I took a lovely trip to Newfoundland a few years ago, and it was a road trip, and it was a lot of fun. But one of the things that you quickly learn when you get sort of into moose area is that you really need to pay attention to the road when you're driving, especially at dawn and dusk, because they just come like running, like full tilt into the road if you're not careful, and they can be, you know, catastrophic to a car. But yeah, they're really interesting animals. And like on the Trans-Canada Highway, which is like a large highway that you travel to go across many provinces in Canada, they have cut back a lot of the forestation near the highway, so that there's room to see when the moose decide to come out of the woods. There we go. Just tore that back a little bit so that we can still see some of this eco printing. Yeah, I didn't check what words we had. Moose feeding on aquatic plants. Maybe I will snip that little bit. That would be, again, like a little information snippet for the postcard. Okay, and then just grab my vintage photo here. Struggling to find the right anchor. There we go. Get rid of this glue page. Just ink this label up a little here. There we go. And then ink around this as well. Okay. I'll get this glued down. And we'll see if we can find a little postage stamp that is good on that one as well. This one could be South Carolina. Yeah, I think I like that one because it's little, and it's kind of a good freeform shape. Okay, so we have more stitching we need to do now, and I wish I could do it on camera. It's just a little hard to do in my studio because my sewing table is in another place from where I film. So I will be right back. The plan, however, is stitch around the postage stamp, stitch around the image, stitch around the label on this one. So I'll be right back when that's finished. Okay, so we are back and stitched around. So we have these cute little puffy pockets. You'll see that there's like a nice sort of relief texture to these. Hopefully you can see that on there. They're not too thick actually, and they're kind of like a nice little, they feel like a little package. And you know where I think these would be really nice is tucked into the front of a journal, where you have that little bit of space that's a little extra kind of. So yeah, I like these a lot. I think they really came out nice. So I just stitched around the label, the stamp, and the image on both. So now we need to make the back writable. So as you can see, you want to do this part last because you'll have all these wild stitches. So I'm going to use some eco-dyed paper that I have, and I'm going to just take a look here at what size I need this to generally be. I need it to be a little bit smaller. I'm kind of trying to fit it to just the frame of the postcard because I actually want to stitch it on the back as well, to give it like extra strength. So I think about there for this one. And I kind of want to, yeah, I'll just tear it with a ruler here, not with a tear ruler, because this is a eco-printed cardstock. I gotta go a little past that fold. Let's see if this works. There we go. Okay. I want the edges to be ever so slightly shabby-ish, which they already are just from the dyeing process. So yeah, that's a decent size. So then just a little bit smaller on the top. It's there. Okay. Now we'll just see if this fits. Needs to be trimmed. No, it's actually, it's pretty good. Yep, that's what we want. Okay, now a little glue to tack it down. Actually, I like that side better. It's more colorful. There we go. And then this one, same thing again. Can I use this piece, or is that little tear going to be? No, it's fine. Okay. So we can cut it to right there. Okay. Okay, so again, I need to just go around this with stitching again, and we want to stay really nice and close to the edge where we stitched before if possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, because a couple of layers of stitching around the edge is actually going to look nicer. So we'll be right back. All right, so we have stitched around the backings on both, and you'll see here I did keep it pretty close to the edge. The nice thing is, if you have two colors of thread in your machine also, now you'll get both colors. And I've got like sort of a light tan brown and like a teal, so I really like those two colors together. So they really turned out quite nice. I'm happy with them. Now there's only one more thing I wanted to do. I actually have made ahead a few things in the past that I can use with this. So I'm going to, oopsies, little stamps here from my ephemera that is a bit of a mess right now. I have these postcard, I had stamped these a while ago. These little postcard labels. I've got a few different ones, so maybe we'll use a couple of them. I like that one and this one, I think. So this is just stamping on, in this case, black walnut dyed paper scraps. So it's a nice way to use up your little scraps to create like collaging or, you know, fodder for these kind of projects. So we will just glue those on. This glue stick is Feeny. Let's actually use art glitter glue for these. I need to clean my glue bottles. Goodness me. Okay, let's see if this will come out. Yeah, I will. Okay. Let's kind of smoosh the glue down a little. There we go. There's one. Okay, and two. So I think this project is done. So yeah, these are so nice in hand. I'm really happy with them. I think they'd make like nice little, I don't know, gifts, honestly. They're so fun. So thank you again for joining me for DEPHEMEREMBER. These are my hand stitching, or in this case, machine stitching postcards. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's a lot of fun. So you can check the description box below for my social media information. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would love it if you did. We have fun here. I do a lot of different kinds of projects, tutorials and taking part in different challenges, journaling and fiber arts type stuff. So yeah, have a wonderful day. And I hope everything for your holiday season is coming together for you as planned. So we'll talk soon. Bye for now.